everybody, and welcome back to Thanks, It's Vintage with your hosts, Andrew
and Lydia.
And we are back here at Kenmore Square on a very hot July day.
Very hot day.
It is.
Very hot series of days.
It is a extreme heat weather warning.
We have finally caught up with Europe.
Yes. And it is July 3rd that we are recording this. Everyone's going to hear this after the weekend, after our celebrations of July 4th. Hope everyone's going to find a
250th.
fun spot on the beach, celebrate with friends and family.
Yep.
Go see the fireworks. 250 years.
Even though half the beaches are meant to be closed for some disastrous
Oh,
bacteria.
let's not get into that. You can go to the beach. You just, for those
Maybe don't.
for those particular beaches, you cannot go in the water.
Fun.
That is the kicker. But hopefully that is resolved. They're trying to resolve some of those areas. I know that they can actually do something about. However, today we're going to talk about the wine club.
We have Wine Club wines.
It is part one of two parts for the wine club. We'll, as we always do, break it into two parts here. So this episode will be the first two wines, and the next episode, part two, will be the second two wines. Just to keep things bite-sized and easy. So if you're listening to this on your commute, or if you are watching us at home, it's more of a 30-ish minute podcast and not a hour-long.
Hour. Which is always problematic.
I get it. You know, hey, listen, those podcasts, there's nothing wrong with them, but I have trouble trying to get back into it when I've cut it off halfway and I'm like, ooh, I didn't finish that. It's a little bit of a difficult situation with the making
the
sure you're
content matters,
back
to be
exactly where
fair.
you need to be.
Yeah.
And you remember the first part, right? Because you're picking up mid-conversation, and that's the other hard part. But
All right.
today, it's the July Wine Club. So excited for anybody who is part of this and has received it. If you haven't received it yet and you are listening or watching, let me know because I let everyone know to let me know about delivery. But it is also July 4th weekend, and I understand that some people have already probably left the city.
Yes. And they will have a treat waiting for them when they return.
Exactly. That treat will be here. We do not leave wine out in the hot sun. It would destroy it. They are very nicely stored here in temperature-controlled environment. So, why don't we dive on in?
Tell me about the wines.
As usual, we have our sheet here that everyone receives, double-sided. If you are watching from home on YouTube, you can see two sides to this sheet with the full set of information on these producers. And the first one we have today is a rosé. It is Les Collines de Bourdic. Ooh, I'm going to screw up my French here. It is Les Collines de Bourdic, Sol and Rive Rosé. 2025 vintage. This is coming from the Languedoc region of France. It is a blend of Grenache and a wonderful grape that is common in the south of France, but a lot of people don't know this one. Marcelin.
Yes.
And the winemaker here is Pierre Bunot. And this is actually a cooperative for this wine.
Okay.
And that's really exciting. As we've talked about before, for anyone who needs that refresher, cooperatives are just a number of small growers and winemakers getting together and basically
Making sure there's power in numbers.
exactly. They have more market power, more market share. They're able to get into external markets like the US that they otherwise might have trouble with if they were on their own as a small farmer and small winemaker. So, without further ado,
Let's crack it open.
let's crack it open.
So we've got a 50-50 split. Is that right?
50-50 split, just about. And, you know, it creates this style that is really reminiscent of
Oh, I can smell it already.
Provence, you know, but without the Provence price tag. The thing I love about Provence, though, is Provence is... you know, I love Provence rosés, but if to get a really good Provence, one that's worth the money, you need one that expresses the terroir. And there's a lot of Provence rosés out there, and I know that you and I have both experienced those brands, right? Where it's just it's another mass-produced wine.
Yes.
It's the price point is because of where it comes from, not because the juice in the bottle is anything to write home about.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like I tend to seek out and spend a little more money on Provence rosés because I look for those producers who they
Doing
cost a
something
bit more
interesting.
and they do
Yeah.
something where it's like you get a little salinity in the wine, you get a little minerality from the soil composition of the vineyards, but they're also like they are aiming to make a high quality
Yeah.
rosé, something that you would have with food, something that you would enjoy around the dinner table, right? This style, which is very similar to a lot of those other producers who are not making something to write home about. It's not that their wines aren't good. It's that the money and the wine are disconnected, right? That price point in the wine. This, I feel like, is in that world of, the price point and the juice match. And this is that summer sipper that you want on the beach. It's not trying to be anything.
It smells like it over delivers. It's really gorgeous on the nose. And potent in a way that half the Provences these days aren't.
I know some of them actually are really hard when you go to evaluate them, actually smell on the nose. And even taste, actually. There's not a lot going on with some of them. But if you are a Provence wine drinker, I did put on the sheet. This is a rosé for you. This is one that you're absolutely going to love.
But yeah, it absolutely leaps out of the glass.
Yeah.
Peach, strawberry, all the usual hallmarks.
So, and
if
it's,
I was blind tasting, I would guess Provence just because of the smell.
Right?
But I can also smell salinity. So that's fun.
Yes, and this is coming from a very tiny area in Languedoc that is close to the ocean, or should I say close to the sea, the Mediterranean. And it's coming from Coteau de Pont du Gard. And so it's a tiny little appellation most people are not aware of. That's the story of Languedoc. I think for most Americans, they don't know much about Languedoc and Roussillon, these two areas in the south of France that are completely overshadowed by their next door neighbor, which is, or two next door neighbors, the Rhone Valley and Provence.
Yeah.
But arguably, there is incredible value from this region, and this wine showcases that, where you can get like that excellent high quality wine that you expect out of some of the more famous regions in France, but you just get it from these areas that you've never heard of and from families you do not know. But you're not going to spend an arm and a leg on it. That's the best part.
It's lovely.
Right?
It's got good weight to it. I didn't really expect that, I must say.
Ooh.
But there is like tension on the palate in a really beautiful way.
That acid is beautiful too.
It is, yeah.
It's
It
not
sparkles.
searing. It's not like disjointed, from the wine. It is very complimentary. It's got that kind of lemonade acid, where it's like you want another sip.
Yeah.
Like it's a good kind
It's
of
a thirst-quenching acid.
Exactly. Yeah, this is
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah, the tension on the palate is particularly fun. It's good. It feels good on the palate.
Yeah. And what I love too is that this is going to be very different from the next rosé, that we're going to taste, because they are not the same style whatsoever. But both are from the south of France. I ended up with a twofer here, both from the Languedoc region. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Oh, and of course there are a couple extra bottles of this. I'm probably going to have to snag a few for myself for the summer beach days.
I'm scared that I'll have to snag one of each of these.
I was cooking this month. I'm cooking every month, but I was definitely cooking this month.
Yeah. It's very pretty. I mean, there's a complexity here as well. Aromatically.
Yeah.
There's an underpinning of minerality that's more than just salt. It actually feels like there's a lot of fruit.
Yeah.
And that's really pleasing and very pretty. But under it, if you keep smelling it, there's more going on.
Yeah, this is a wine that over delivers. I really believe it over delivers every single time.
herbal tarragon.
I can see
Something.
that. I can definitely see that.
I'm not committed to that one, but there's something herbal going on.
Mm.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a gorgeous wine.
Yeah.
And I think that this is definitely, one of those wines that most people would never know or understand unless somebody handed them the bottle. You see a grape like Marcelon on the bottle because they actually put it on the bottle. They put on the front.
Yeah.
Grenache and Marcelon. Somebody reads Marcelon, they're going to go, I don't know what that is.
Which does vaguely indicate that they're aiming for an international market.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they want you to know. They want you to know what it is, what's in the bottle.
Which is not
They actually lay
usual
everything
for
out.
Old World wine. Let's just say that now.
But it is a little more usual in the Languedoc region.
Well, that is true.
And I think it's because they know that their exports internationally are fighting against this unknown name problem where most people internationally know all of the bigger named appellations in France, the regions I should say, and they don't know Languedoc. The southwest of France faces the same problem. There are appellations there that nobody knows, right? And these are Languedoc, Southwest, they're right next to each other, right? Like it's just the whole south. There you go. The whole south of France. You go below Bordeaux.
Yeah. Below the Rhone.
Below the Rhone.
And then it's just...
And it's like, and that's it. Everybody's like, I don't know what
away.
any of that stuff is, right? And they fight against that, and that's difficult.
Well, they're fighting against that, but they're also making a wise judgment that this is how labeling is in most New World countries.
Right.
So they're doing what those countries are used to.
And it also, it does make sense as well they don't work within appellations that have famous names that everyone recognizes. So there's no reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is no reason to put the name on the bottle. Sometimes they do. A lot of times they do, I should say. But it's not the focal point on the bottle, whereas like Burgundy, that village name is going to be the focal point of the bottle,
Yeah. That is truly delicious.
Mighty tasty.
Yeah.
Like perfect on a day like today.
Oh, perfect. I cannot wait I am not going to the beach tomorrow. I had my beach weekend last week.
Fair. Yeah, you were down in the Cape.
But I will be drinking something very similar to this or this.
You were in my hometown
I
territory.
was in your hometown territory. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is absolutely stunning. Like this was one of those wines that I tasted and I was like, okay, that's going right into this.
Yeah.
That is a
An
beautiful,
immediate
beautiful
winner.
wine.
All right.
Yeah.
Next in the lineup,
All right. Here we go.
Kermit Lynch, baby.
So, Kermit Lynch.
What can we say?
What can we say about this man?
Hasn't been said.
Already. Famous importer.
Legend in America, legend in France. Legend world over, but
he's the reason we are all drinking
rosé.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Yeah.
I'd say he's also the reason we are all drinking quality, wine from
smaller family-run producers.
Like he really created the market. He created the market. There are not that many people you can say that about in any industry. There's a handful of people you can say who have done that in any industry. Actually, where it's like they created the market that exists today.
Yeah. Changed what people were drinking.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, the guy is a legend. If you haven't read his books, read his books. They are fascinating. And he has a new book out, but his book that has been out for quite some time, what is it? Journey on the Wine Route? Why am I blanking on the name? I think it's Journey on the Wine Route.
Is it Journey? That feels wrong. Why do we not know this?
I know. If you look up Kermit Lynch wine book, you'll find it on Amazon. You'll find it anywhere. But
Stories on the Wine Route? No, okay.
I think it is Journey on the Wine Route. But the guy is a legend, and that book actually is a really cool book. I've been reading it lately, and he basically talks about his interaction with some of these producers when he goes to France for the first time and meets these, small families. And it's the stories of him interacting with these people for the very first time, from like walking up to their home and going through the gate on like a rainy night, and, or like some of these producers, it was like, they're stumbling into the hall, and then stumbling into the kitchen, opening a bottle for him when they're clearly inebriated, right? And that's the first interaction he has with them. It's a really good book. It's a really good book. It gives you a lot of information about the people behind some of these wines that are amazing wines. This is a portfolio where there's just nothing that's wrong. There's nothing wrong in it.
Well, they're literally all handpicked. This Kermit himself spent decades building relationships with every single one of the wines that he offers. And now it's in the hands of his son. Is that right?
Yes, his son is the one who is now overseeing the operations of the importer. And Kermit is living in Provence.
And having the best retirement ever, by the sounds of it.
Dude deserves it. I mean he put in the work from the 70s up to now.
Well, this is the thing, is that when you read about the beginnings of Kermit Lynch's distribution company, no one was drinking rosé in America. It was scorned, actively scorned. No one had it on restaurant lists. It was considered cheap. It was considered, I think, like only certain types of people were drinking it, which is very strange to think about.
Yeah.
And he single-handedly changed that for California and then America. So, what an impression this man has made.
Everyone should know that the Kermit Lynch store still exists. He had a store, and then he had a store, and then
just opened another one.
Created an importer.
But either way, the Berkeley store.
Berkeley store, Berkeley, California. That is the OG store. It is still kicking. You can go and visit it. It is really cool. And of course, what is it filled with? Kermit Lynch wine.
Kermit Lynch wine. Yeah.
But it is one of those things where if you're out in the Bay Area and you're a wine lover, like that is actually a place to visit. Like everybody, a lot of people miss it because they go straight up to Napa, Sonoma.
Yes.
And nobody realizes you need to take a slight like hour-ish or whatever detour out of San Francisco and over to Berkeley and then go up to Napa.
That's where it all began.
Because that is where this all started. So that's all to say that our next wine here, which is imported by Kermit Lynch. And this is an old favorite of mine, so this is not one that I had to necessarily revisit to fall in love with again. I have loved this wine forever. This is the Domaine de Fontsainte Gris de Gris 2025 Rosé from the Languedoc region. It's actually from the appellation of Corbières. However, this particular vintage, there were some weather problems with
France has had a series of misfortunes.
Yeah, and so he had to source some grapes from. If I'm remembering correctly, he had to source from grapes from basically a neighboring property that happens to sit just over the bounds of the appellation of Corbières. So this particular vintage is not labeled as a Corbière; it is labeled as a Languedoc, and that is just the way it's the way it goes. That's the name of the game, right? But Bruno Labucari is the winemaker here. He is the head of the family, multi-generational. And did I put it in here? Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't put it in here. So Domaine de Fontsainte is actually named for a well on the property that has a story about healing properties and a famous saint that was canonized by the Catholic Church that is connected to this story of the healing properties of the well that is on the property from the medieval ages. So there is a history here that is more than just the vineyard, which is really cool. But they are producing this with Grenache Gris, one of the mutations of Grenache. We all know Grenache for reds, but there's Grenache Gris, Grenache Blanc, and Grenache Noir. Grenache Noir is the one we all know. This is Grenache Gris, and it produces a beautiful rosé. Oh, just gorgeous.
It's such a different set of aromas.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of peach. You've got a little bit of strawberry, but there's some pretty serious, like raspberry leaf.
I would say so, yeah.
It's
And
more
it's-
savory and feels more round.
Yes. The cool thing I love about this, and not to, once in a while, I know on these podcasts, I will, and even when I'm teaching like wine classes, I will throw out my husband as an example of things.
I think we mention him in every episode.
We actually might. He might be, one day he'll have to probably
Shout
come
out to
on here. Shout out to Terrence. But he is, I say this as an example because he is the perfect example for this. He is your average consumer when it comes to wine. He is not, he's not a sommelier like myself. He's not a French wine scholar like myself. He's not educated like you and I are. He doesn't have his WSET level 3 like you do. Like he doesn't have that textbook level knowledge on any of this stuff, right? Nor has he tasted the breadth of wines that we have. He has more access, and I think he has a little more knowledge than the common consumer does because of being around me and the things I'm bringing home and the things I'm talking about constantly, right? But he's still the average consumer. He has his likes, he has his dislikes, and he's just better at picking them out now because he's got a language he can use now, thanks to what I do for work, right? That's to say, he is not a rosé person. He has never been a rosé person. He does not like Provence rosés. This first rosé here, he would not like.
Okay.
It's not his style. This one, which I was so excited because I'm like, oh, this is one of my favorites.
I
So
witnessed this.
he loves this. He wants more of this in the apartment constantly, and he's not a rosé drinker. And I think it comes down to that this is the rosé people expect: light, clean, crisp, high acid, like summer juice in a bottle.
Yeah.
This
has
layers to
depth,
it, texture to it, weight to
Still
it.
haven't tried it.
There's depth here. Like it is got complexity in a different way than we would talk about complexity with rosés of this style. It's not your quintessential Provence style rosé. That is not what Grenache Gris does as a grape, and he loves that. That is a rosé for people who may say they're not big rosé fans. That is what that is. And so my hope, of course, is that anybody who has the wine club will be sharing this with friends and family. And that one person in the room who says they're not a rosé person gets to try this, because this is the wine that will change how you think about rosé. In this pack, I should say.
It's fun.
There's many wines out there that will do that, but for this pack, this wine club, this is the one.
We also should say that we hosted a Kermit Lynch rosé party the other day, and this was one of the wines. And I must say, I did taste all of the wines on the night, but we were so busy
I know.
that
So
I
busy.
didn't really register them. And I've retasted now 2 of them again. And I clearly need to buy all the wines.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that I can actually experience them, because I did not pay attention at the time. But yeah, I do remember this one standing out as separate to the others because it is so savory.
Yeah.
It is so...
And it's still refreshing.
It's still refreshing. It has
You know?
all the nice rosé hallmarks, but it's less fruit-driven and more... Don't even really have a language for it.
Yeah.
Savory is the best word for it.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing too, is that so I would say, and this is a personal feeling. I'm not saying everyone has to subscribe to this, but this is the kind of wine that I could go both to the beach with. I could also have it with some food, right? What did I say was the food pairing on this one? Watermelon and feta salad
perfect.
for the first one, right? For this one, the Sol and Rive. For the Grenache Gris, just so we get it out of the way, I said the food pairing was spicy tuna tartare.
Yeah, you want something with a bit more going on, essentially.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
This, I wouldn't want at the beach. I wouldn't want this at the beach. It's got too much going on to it.
Yeah.
There's a little more texture to it. It's not that chuggable, you
Yes.
know, it's not that porch pounder.
Yeah.
That term we love to use. It's not a porch pounder. This is a porch pounder.
I do love that term so much. It's so useful.
It
It's a very
is.
useful term.
It accurately describes the difference between these two wines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they both absolutely have their place, and they're both delicious.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't get enough of this. This is.
I
Just
do
such
have a
good-
feeling that if I bring both of these home, Jamie will have a similar response to Terence.
Really.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, not a fan of the rosé that's traditional in style for what people expect, but
Yeah.
does love the rosé that most people don't know exists, right?
Well, but
Or the
then
style that
in
they're like,
Australia,
that's rosé.
right? Because both of us, our formative wine drinking experiences were Australia.
Right.
There's not a lot of Provence in Australia.
Really?
No.
That's
Australia
fascinating.
really prioritizes its own wine. It's
well,
there.
that makes
You can
sense.
find it.
I mean, it is a
Obviously,
wine
you can
country.
Find it.
Yeah.
But it is very proud of its own wine, and it'll import all the big names, but it's not going to spend its time buoying up
Fair.
small family-run producers in the south of France when we've got our own thing going on. So, I mean, maybe that's, I'm sure if you go into a massive box store, you're going to find all the usual stuff.
Right.
But most independent stores are selling wineries that they have relationships with, that they have some kind of, that are either local. So Melbourne's doing a lot of Yarra, Mornington, etc., Geelong, all those places.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's much more common for them to be. In fact, I got told an amazing story, which does kind of encapsulate it, of an American going to a kind of upper fine dining experience, asking for a glass of Sancerre, and they were like, I could give you a Sancerre, but why would you do that? You're in Australia. Why don't I give you a fantastic Sauvignon Blanc from Australia?
They're not wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
listen. Okay, having been in hospitality, right? What you just said would be a huge no-no. Like, at least here, like we're told, don't do, like you don't push back on people.
Yeah.
You say you want something, I got it on the list, you're gonna get
They
it,
were
right?
being charming. I probably.
Oh, probably. But still, we're still told, like, we're still not, like,
Yeah.
we
it's the customer's choice.
we would never say something like that, ever. Even though that makes total sense to me. That makes so much sense to actually inform the person who is visiting, do you really want the thing you can get back home?
Yeah.
Or do you want to try something that is here? You've traveled here. Why would you not? That makes so much sense. And, it also makes sense for us in the sense of like all those tourists who come from Europe that come here and they walk into one of our wine shops. What's the number one wine they're always asking about? Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Now, they don't realize there's more wine in the U.S. than just Napa Valley. But Napa Valley gets out to France. But it's limited. They don't get the number of producers. I'm looking at one like the Di Costanzo behind you. Also, she was amazing to meet.
Outstanding wines.
Right? But there's a boutique Napa Valley winery right there that definitely doesn't make it to Europe, right? So, like, that's the stuff they come here looking for. So it makes total sense that this happened at an Australian restaurant, being like, do you really want Sancerre?
Well, I could. I will give it to you if you're convinced, but I could give you something local, something special, something you can't get back at home. But yeah, I mean, when I went there, not the recent trip, the previous trip, my friend he'd gotten a promotion. He was having a great time. He wanted a bottle of Sancerre. He spent over $200 on that bottle.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
Taxation in Australia is high. Importation tax is very high. So that's another reason why drinking local is just
That makes
smart.
sense. Yeah.
Because, that Sancerre probably costs at most 50.
Listen, I will say if we ever did the kind of taxation here that
Oh, Australia is
like if
insane.
we did that kind of importation and just straight up taxation
there
of
would
like
be riots in the street.
people here would lose it. They were already angry about the tariffs to begin with when it came to like, European wines.
Yeah.
And any other wine from across the world, but Europe specifically. But if they went
But
that
Australia
high.
is so far away from everything. That's
Well,
the reason for it.
it's a little isolated out there.
It's not just tax; it's everything.
Right.
Every part of that journey.
It's difficult to get things out there to begin with. So
So anyway,
but
point is, it's great wine.
great wine, fantastic wine. So glad that it's in everybody's wine clubs this month. All right. Well, that's our first two.
That's our first two.
This has been lovely discussing these two. And we will be back for part 2 to discuss the next 2 wines, a bottle of white and a bottle of red. I feel like that
Very
I
nice.
just said that out loud, and I feel like that is, oh my gosh, it is. It's
That song.
a Billy Joel song.
Billy Joel song.
I married a Long Islander. I'll never accept this. Anyway, let's get.
To be fair, my husband, who's not from Long Island, introduced me to that song too.
You guys also come from the music world. So.
Yeah. That's one of the greatest.
Don't get me wrong. I love
ever
Billy
written.
Joel. It's actually I love his music. It's really good.
I actually genuinely love him.
Yeah.
In a way that has come late in life.
Also saw him
I
in concert.
didn't- Yeah. Well, we were going to it in New York, and we were going to meet a very close friend from Australia visiting, and then we both got COVID.
Oh no!
It was the saddest thing.
Oh no!
We
Oh, it's
missed Billy
terrible.
Joel. We had tickets and everything. It was awful.
I don't know if he's still going to do any more concerts. I think he retired.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we saw one of his last ones at Madison Square Garden with Terrence and his family.
I
This
think
was a
that's
couple
the
years
one-
ago.
Yeah, that was the one we were going
no.
to go to.
Oh, because I got COVID from that concert. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
oh.
we sent it to you
Oh gosh.
somehow.
All right. Let's close this
Anyway.
out. Let's let everybody move on to part 2. So,
Let's move on to part 2.
all right. Well, thank you for joining us, and
a
we'll see you
wonderful
back for part 2. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.